curious about that book. The Ghibli.
Oh, I think
I just keep getting advertised on Facebook, and I'm always like,
yeah. That's so
I'll buy
cool.
it just for the pictures.
Yeah. I just want to look at it. Oh, it's so cool.
Ember Belly, Bubble Prison. Oh, that's so cute. God. It would be wizards, though.
Oh dear, I do worry about my notes from last session.
I think everyone worries about their notes. Period.
Two.
No, but I actually make them.
Hey, nice. To be fair, yours are sort of golden in their sheer simplicity and somewhat stupidity, no offence. Because I recall vaguely the last time you did it, it went something along the lines of Lycoris, underwear, death? It's like, it feels like it's just random words you put in there that have no cohesion, and it's
And
just
then I
like,
give up halfway through.
yeah.
Well, it's going to be similar this time. Don't worry about it.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello, back.
Yeah. I was running up the stairs and I went, America. Yeah, and then my dad just went language. And I'm like, oh, sorry.
It's English.
Yeah, I can't believe
That
you'd say the
language.
word. I can't believe you'd say the A word.
I know.
Yeah.
How uncouth.
It's because for some reason my dad's watching Emmerdale, and then on his iPad, you just hear a very hillbilly-like man on there going like, "Down in Southern
I'm
Carolina,
the
this
prospector."
is how we fish." And I'm like, America.
Wait, did... Oh, Megan, you just about snuck in on the failure rate. Nice.
I know. I can't believe 12 was our highest roll.
I know.
I know.
It's a good thing you guys aren't fighting a big boss or anything. Yeah. Isn't that lucky?
You say it like you're testing fate.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Any excuse you need to feel better about yourselves. Let's have that recap, shall we?
He just wants
Yeah,
to
sure.
hurt us.
And I'm not going to read it verbatim. There's lots of spelling errors. But this is what I wrote down. So Freeman has reawoken in a new body. I don't fully understand what kind of resurrection this is, but we now know that he's married and is part of a sex cult? Question mark.
What?
These are my notes.
Why are they your notes?
And he also has a new friend, and he has a daddy now.
Nice.
And
Father.
he manages to get his tattoo backs. So like he's like, even though he's in a new body, you know, he's got that thing that's
He's
like
bringing
similar.
himself in there.
And then yeah, so there's some. He's part of like this weird. Like he's obviously some rich boy. It's worrying. Is he now like part of the cult that like? And he's still an ASMR. It sounds like. But yeah, like he's back in the place where the cult was. I can't remember the name of the country where.
Gymnasta.
Janasta, yeah, there we go. So it sounds like he's back there. So it's a bit worrying. He's near the cult again. He's still an ASMR. But hey boy, he's got a rich dad. It's fine. And then I've written Lupula's bitch sister comes in. She's reinforced the barriers, and that no one can get into Demise's chamber unless they're invited by the king or queen. I pay a visit to the my nice bandit lads. We don't know how to revive Ravi, so we're just gonna leave him for now. He's fine.
Yep.
Fine.
It's
He'll make a good coaster for the drinks.
No.
Stick a bit of glue on
I
him.
thought he was a garden display.
Yeah, that too.
He's still in that chamber, isn't he? So like now he's locked in the chamber. No one can even go visit him.
No. No.
Like, I thought Chloe said after the battle was done, they went back and got him.
Oh, did
I
you move
think
him?
Back when Vlad was still dead.
has been forbade.
I can't remember.
I'm sure at some point Chloe said she would go back and get the chicken because she
I
knew
mean,
Mad
I
would
would
be
have
upset.
done, wouldn't I, really?
Okay, it's up to Chloe
Yeah, I think
where
I
the chicken
did
is now
actually, for
located.
Vlad.
Where have you placed the ornament?
I'm locked in the chamber. This is fine.
So
I'll
for
put
the
it where I put it.
for the
Let me see.
simplicity,
Lycoris has a little private
In
vampire
this.
chat. We
Yeah.
we know where Brewin is, and we're making plans to go there. That's the end of my notes.
in
Did you delete Ravi from the tag-alongs?
yeah, he's fucking dead.
No, he can come back. Why would you delete him? I want him here.
Oh, sorry, no, I didn't delete him. He's in the dead area, but
Oh!
he's just not in your party at the minute 'cause he's
Oh, where's
fucking.
the dead bit?
It's in other dead.
Dead.
There's a lot of death. That's all I'm
He's
saying.
not dead. He's petrified. Where's
Oh,
dead?
he's in
Oh,
the
there it
sense-
is. Ah!
He's in essence dead.
At this point, Chloe demands a petrified section.
There
God,
we
you.
go. There's Ravi. I've dragged him back. But he's no.
He's literally right there.
Oh. Not moving him. He's sitting here.
I'm not touching him. That's all I'm saying.
Who's moving him? There we
Everyone's
go.
got access, so.
Oh fuck! No, leave him alone. Don't you dare. Leave him alone.
Damn, I can't grab him.
Yeah. He's right in the center. That's where he'll stay.
And just to
And
make
that's
that canon,
to him.
nobody has control now.
Oh, what about me? Oh.
He's a giant
Okay.
statue, trust me. If you can move him, there's less things to worry about than you think. So, that in essence, Megan, of course, enjoy your inspiration. I feel like it's rare that I get to say those words. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
We left off, I believe, as well in regards to you, Megan. You were talking to your fanboys. I believe you left them to it because you wanted to head back to the others.
Yeah.
So in which case, you can feel free to move yourself wherever you would like to be in the room. Haraway will adhere to the necessity of taking Vlad, and should you want to go with him, Inessa, you two to the vault to bring Ravi's body, but he doesn't accept anyone else going in. The door is left open, he walks in with you. You guys have to fully hoist the thing, and there's a little bit of magic involved to get the body off the ground as it almost cemented into the crystal glass like earth. But you do free it, and after a long period you get it out of the room, and then once it's out of the room the bandits are called to help you lift it, and it is a long and grueling couple of hours trying to get it across the hallway and then up the stairs, because in life Ravi was a flexible animal. He wasn't really fat, he wasn't really muscular, he was just an animal. He had scalage, so he had a small bit of additional weight, no real big, but now that he is a full solidified entity, he weighs a fuck ton, and it takes genuinely 2 hours with all of the effort that can be mustered with those bandits to push the thing up the stairs without scuffing it. And eventually you get them through the double doors and lay it gently as a centerpiece in the room. And
Worth it.
yeah, after all that, you, Vlad, and all the bandits have these large beads of sweat you just wipe away, and you just kind of have to take a deep breath, and for a moment you just think to yourself oh god damn it, that was probably the most effort I've ever put into moving something.
Mm-hmm. It's the most effort she's ever put into anything, other than, chasing Asatari around
I was about to say that.
and saving Vlad.
But yeah,
But that's it.
as you bring your boy back in,
Vlad's sitting with him.
regardless of, actually no, there's other stuff going on. What do you guys want to do? Because currently there's sort of an open end. You guys are kind of allowed to run ragged. So, what's on the agenda?
Blender.
For the sake of ease, instead, I will go top down in our list as always. Double A run. What is Trafalgar doing? Hi.
So this is the morning after the long rest,
This is
or
technically
before the long rest.
for you guys. This is the day after a long rest. Lupilla had cast spells in this day period to get you guys to and fro with Brewin's body, so he still needs to rest for his teleportation. But if that's not an important factor, you guys are fine to do whatever.
Okay. Well, if we're just waiting for Lupula to kind of call everyone together and cast a spell to get us there, I'm just gonna snoop around the castle suspiciously and annoy Lycoris.
Okay.
And Roderick. I'm gonna make sure Roderick sees me snooping and acting suspicious around his new castle.
Okay. I'll be right back real quick.
Forgot that we voted for someone. I was like, ooh. I wonder who's going to take. Oh yeah, we did. I'm doing one of my Etsy orders at the moment, and one of the people has called their child Arwen. I'm like, yeah, look, our parents have seen a lot of the Riggs fans. Here is a discount code. There was a child called Michael and a child called Scott, so I put their names together on the picture, so it said Michael Scott. And then there was another one that said David and a kid called Brent, so I put them together for David Brent.
What?
And then there was also, I didn't even notice.
What's
that,
going on? What's
next
happening in this
name-
town?
Sorry, I'm talking about my Etsy stuff while you're away. I find like the kids' names that make other names, like Michael Scott and David Brent and David Beckham, and put them together because it's funny. Feeling I don't know.
So I've currently got dinner in my hands, so I'm gonna go ahead and allow you lot to talk. In character or otherwise, just go crazy.
Yeah, I'll let you guys do it as well.
Oh, I thought I heard Brewin's voice there on the wind. It must have been a pigeon. Oh, go!
Go, come
No,
see!
Welcome on
It's
yourselves.
it's Trafalgar sat next to the corpse, just moving the mouth open and shut while.
Does like sound somebody do.
That's canon.
Yeah.
I know it would wind like corpse up.
They would upset Atari though.
When has that ever stopped him before?
Yeah, I know Asatari would forgive me, whereas Lycoris would just hold it against me forever.
I feel like Trafalgar's the only one that's not tried to chase after Atari.
I like to think that you might feel the slightest twinge of, oh, this might make her disappointed, and then you're like, well.
I disappoint everyone anyway, so.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. He's such a moody teenager.
Basically.
I think
And then what-
I'm doing the same thing as Trafalgar. I'm just skulking.
When you were sat moving corpses and just going like rah, 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 you're just doing it to each other from across the room, like arguing.
Yeah, I've got Talus's skull out, his previous skull. Like,
Rah, 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 rah. Yeah, I think you're a twat. Well, I think you're a bitch.
But I hate to be that guy. But remember, Brewin's body did burn.
it's still got bits in though. I remember. He described it as It's all in one piece with a hole in the chest, so you know it might be a burnt face, but it's still a face.
Wait, I thought the body was completely burnt.
We've not given you any kind of burial right. Don't worry.
Actually,
Oh no, wait! I buried his
no.
body. I already
Yeah.
buried
Oh,
his
you
body
did.
in the garden.
Oh, ruin
Oh,
my
that's where
fun.
Ravi should go. I'm not lifting him yet, though. I'm going after a little
He's
place.
on top of the corpse to make sure no one can get his corpse out.
Yeah, that's what
Giant
we should put him.
stone chicken.
Guys, do
I-
you want to help me move Ravi?
Etatari slash me is having a big internal conundrum about what spell to pick.
Me.
Ask Lupula for guidance.
Already
Oh wise man, what shall I choose?
No library? What kind of fucking castle is this?
One without a library.
A library-less one.
Uncultured swine.
Literally everything I was led to believe as a child has just been shattered.
Yeah!
Well,
Yeah.
Vantress was only big into one book, you know, the one that you currently
It
have.
was your castle first.
Yeah, but it doesn't look.
Where
It
are your
doesn't.
books, man? Where
It
are your
doesn't
books?
look how it was when
It got
Lycoris
in the way
lived
of
there.
her katanas. Okay.
It still
here we
has
go.
the room there.
I mean, rooms can be changed. Like, I mean, she's got a room for a fucking chained up dragon.
Okay, new headcanon, Eldon Lycoris was illiterate.
I mean, it's possible considering how long ago she lived, and she was a whammon.
Wow. Oh, I want to teach her how to read. Get flashcards and everything.
Have we actually had a conversation about where we're going yet?
Nope.
I think we had a. I was arguing that we
I
should
think
go
we
back
did,
to
yeah.
Gustodon, and the rest of you were like, no.
I don't think
No.
I don't think I had an opinion. I was just like, well, I thought I might stay here, but I'm not now because Vlad's alive.
Should we revisit that conversation maybe before we just fucking travel somewhere?
Yeah, because I don't know what we're
I'm
doing.
a pushover. Even like if you tell me to do something I don't want to do, I'll just do it anyway. So you know, I'd already given it.
That's true.
How can I use this?
But don't you want to confront Arlen?
No, not really.
Don't you want to
He's
see
not
your
a
mother and
confident
father?
person. She's
No,
a run
not
away from
really.
a problems person.
I
want to
am.
find out if my uncle's okay.
Not really, no. I mean, you asked me and I responded honestly. You should be happy that I was honest. I could have lied.
I feel like I want to take Vlad somewhere safe now, please.
Where's safe?
Nowhere.
I'm assuming Gustodon with people we know is probably safer than just dropping them off somewhere in Janasta and being
I
like,
can't-
have a nice time, hun.
Well, I could take him home, but I feel like that's not any better for him.
Let's take him back home to the mother that you have real issues with.
Yeah, but I do.
That
feel
he
like I should
literally
go
ran
back
away
there.
from once before.
Yeah. But I feel like I should go back at some point. Just to, you know. have a
Maybe
go
when we-
there.
Maybe when we've picked up New Bruin.
All I'll say is you have spells to keep track of your mother.
I don't want to keep track of that bitch. She's fine.
Well,
She's not worth my magic.
No, I probably would. I'd be like, alright, what the fuck's she up to now? As long as I don't have to scry anything, because I don't want to see anything. I don't want
You don't want to. You don't want to look at an inopportune time and be traumatized.
Yeah, had enough of that in my childhood. Ugh.
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 Oh.
so technically
guess
you guys
we're all
still
just-
haven't had that conversation.
No, we're all just skulking around. Someone's
I'm
gonna have to bring us all together.
Well,
I'm
did we...
thinking about my sapling of the pretty tree upstairs, and I'm wondering where I should plant it. Where would be good for it?
Oh,
Not near
yeah.
Arlen because she saps the joy out of the world.
Oh.
I'm just here like musing to myself, and there's like horse is just like putting in advice. I'm just like I did not ask. I was not going to place it next to Arlen.
I'm just saying. Why don't you just put it in Lupula's garden? Then you've got an excuse to keep going to see him.
I know, Gustodon's not all that like bright and wonderful though, is it?
I'm
It's all...
sure he's got a fucking greenhouse.
No.
Well,
he's
Oh
not
wait,
right.
in
wait.
fairness, my house kind of fell down a cliff.
That's true. Well,
Sorry.
if Ishi's old house is still standing, they have trees
Oh, that'd be
on
nice.
inside the house.
Oh.
But you'd have to ask
Okay.
you'd have to ask Ishgari whether he's allowed
Well,
to.
that means we'd have to go back to Gustodon.
Not to mention, you guys don't know the aftermath of the thousands of undead that
Oh,
Well,
were
God.
attacking.
that's why I said if his house is still standing.
Don't you want to check on him?
Someone can send him a message.
I've only just seen what Lupula has been putting in this chat.
What is Lupula? Oh,
What more do you need to do?
Well, it wasn't good enough for me. I'm handsome and good at spellcasting. He's not that handsome.
I thought you meant you and Jonathan.
Oh yeah. I should probably go see him at some point.
Check he's okay after he killed himself for us. Don't worry.
Yeah, I feel like I probably owe that to him.
if we're doing all of this before we find Brewin, he will have died of old age before we find him.
No, I mean after Brewin. I'm just thinking about what else we do after this. All my stuff can wait. Mine's just I probably should go check into places rather than having anything to do.
Well,
Did we locate Brewin?
yeah, we scried and we found him.
Yes, I thought so. I couldn't remember if we just talked about doing it or if we actually did. So we know where he is.
While you guys are talking about that, I will be right back. I'm going to steal somebody.
But who?
Hi. So, firstly, which brother?
Kingsley.
Okay. If I remember rightly, the Eye of the World has one use per.
Per day,
Yeah.
recharges on the dawn of each day.
Mhm.
If the target is susceptible to scrying, you view them for the duration of a minute. If it is a willing creature, if it is a willing creature, they make a Wisdom save DC 15 to block the. Oh, if it's an unwilling creature, they make a Wisdom save DC 15 to block.
Okay. So, because it is important, Scry typically has a sort of blackout effect on other people. It's kind of like it's like you're looking at everyone else with peripheral vision. There's a kind of blur. So,
Yeah.
who's more important for you to see with that use, your brother or your mother?
Oh, that's my brother probably, because we kind of left it on good terms. I want to make sure he's got back safe.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
Okay. Let me just quick look at a thing. This is your first use of it, isn't it? Or is it?
I think I used it once for something like unmeaningful, and it didn't work. I think because I was trying to find. Who was I trying to find? I think I was either trying to find her that we've just defeated or Legion. I think I was trying to use it on. I was trying to track Legion down, I think.
Okay. So scrying the spell takes a 10-minute cast time, but because you're casting it through the Eye of the World, it's an instantaneous casting. That's why it's got such a high wait period between uses. So you kind of like skulk around, acting enough of a degree of shady that people are like, okay, he's doing as usual. And you kind of wander around for a bit. You find a nice little nook downstairs where they have assortments of like fresh food and the like that would have been made that isn't literally but is currently being left to rot. because no one's here to tend to it. You hide between a couple of crates and you pull out the Eye of the World, and as you hold on to it and you focus on your brother, you know him firsthand. He's literally your family, your blood. You don't know, because the spell is being cast through the item, if he's forced to make a save or not, or if he was willing. But you know that whatever the case, the spell takes effect, and all you see is, with a slight zoom out, enough that you can see the back of your brother for a second, following him like a roleplay character. Like, you see his sword is on his back, but he's currently got a shield up. His wife is currently in front of him, looking at him. They seem to be talking about something. They're both wearing full armour and emblazoned in their most garish regalia. With a general look around, you can see what looks to be a gentle stone stone block floor, and around to the left seems to be a series of pillars. They seem to be in some kind of very, like, it looks kind of like a cathedral or maybe a church. It's a bit hard to tell, as a lot of everything that's about 15 feet away or more from your brother is blurred. Even the face of his betrothed is, like, completely blurred out. You can only tell it's her based on the armour she's wearing. But you see that the pair of them are holding hands. They both have their wedding rings on, and you don't recognise the place exactly, but he looks to be doing fine. Make a perception check. So you do catch what looks to be a glimpse of a symbol of a lion's head with what looks to be like a shield behind that, and the lion's head is, like, printed on the shield, which is, for the sake of simplicity, because you fucking live there, is the symbol of the Lion's Guard, the men and women that have to go through rigorous training, years and years of background checks and excess, like, I can't think of a good word for it, but they have to be pushed to their limits and prove that everything they are is in service to the king and the land itself. They literally are given a pact on success to join the guard, but they serve the king directly. They're like an honor guard of sorts, and they're an elite of an elite, which you know is in the capital itself. So seemingly he's home, and yeah, the spell will last for 10 more minutes if you do want to continue to watch for that period.
No, I think the eye says it's over in a minute. It's literally like to give you a little blink, a look. Is how I'd kind of for the next minute, if the target is susceptible to scrying, you view it. Yeah, so that's enough though to give me that shot that he's okay.
Yeah.
Which is good news, because that means that Bert's okay, hopefully, because he took him. They went together. So, yeah, that's fine. That's good news. Now he's a bit less afraid of going back home to Janasta, knowing his brother's all right, and and at least someone there he's not fallen out with, or he's made amends with.
God, I look forward to if you get the chance to actually talk with them.
Yeah, me too.
Right. Is there anything else, or is that you good?
No, I snuck the stuff into the party bag that I wanted to sneak in. Just a couple of scrolls and some gold. I'm pretty done then. I'm just gonna kind of lurk around. And I might push now. I might push a little bit to go to Janasta, because it's boring me in this castle with no library and no gold. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we'll go back and see what they're talking about.
Creeped out.
Yeah, me too.
Why did he get creeped out?
All the time.
Rachel?
Do you know what I said? I said no. She said, "I'm back, not quack."
Yeah.
All I heard was Kieran go, "What the fuck?" from the other side. Because as I said that, someone was making quacking noise in his video, and he got weirded out.
Great timing. Oh, that's good.
So what did the degenerate get up to?
I don't think that's any of your business.
I fucking knew it. He did something illegal.
What's he stolen?
Hello,
Yeah. What did he do? What did he steal?
I will have you know, that is none of your business.
I fucking knew it.
You ain't the king of this castle anymore, bitch.
I
Not a
haven't been,
denial, and therefore it's a confession.
haven't been in a very long time. Leave me alone. So was the queen. Get it right, bitch.
You sent her into the the techno realm.
That's why I want to be okay.
So have you guys come to a consensus about where you want to go,
no,
what you want to do?
We were talking about other stuff.
I don't think I
God.
can a drink.
You guys are so productive. I love you.
Hey, I came to a decision.
Hey, I said I love you. God.
Hey, in my defense, I'm not even there.
Hey, in his defense, he's not even there.
I'm not there mentally. Does that count?
Kind of.
No.
Yay.
Okay, well,
You know.
we'll tally the votes as always. And if people are adamant or needing to go to a specific destination, and I'm going to say the words that every DM incites as fear into players, we could split the party. It is not an impossibility, though the problem is you would essentially be waiting wherever you go, because Lupilla has to rest. He can do 2 teleports, one of which is through an ability he has, and the other is the spell.
Teleport 2. I think.
No, it's a 7th level.
I don't know.
Mm.
Is it?
Yes, 7th level.
Oh, yeah. I keep thinking that I can teleport, and I have to set up a circle in 2 places, haven't I?
A double.
Or if you already know of a circle.
Shall I set up a circle here?
I mean, it would allow you to get around a lot quicker.
Yeah. Is it just 2 connecting circles, or can I just like go to whatever circle I want?
As long as you, I believe, as long as you've been to a circle, you can teleport to it.
Oh, really?
Let me just check. Well, at least that's probably how I'm going to rule it anyway. As you cast a spell, draw a 10-foot diameter circle that links.
Because you can make them permanent.
Yeah, that links your location to a permanent teleportation circle whose sigil sequence you know, and is on the same plane of existence. A shimmering portal appears and opens until the end of your next turn. Any creature who enters, blah 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 blah. Temples, blah blah blah. Teleportation circle, blah 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 blah. Anyway, that's too much reading. I'm done. So
Can I make a teleportation
yes, as part of the spell,
Oh.
you can create a permanent teleportation circle by casting the spell in this. Oh well, in the same location every day for a year. So I don't think you have that time.
But doesn't what's his face have magic?
Who?
The king guy.
Haraway.
Does he have the power to do that?
Who? You mean Haraway?
Yeah.
Haraway is in the guy who's the Lord of the Castle.
Yeah. Does he have the magical power to set up a thingy?
Haraway, the guy whose name is Harroway, not
Yeah,
Harrington.
Did I say it again?
No, you didn't. But I'm just kind of like.
I feel like
I'm like just being a dick, kind of like loose kicking it in there, just to make sure that it's like
I
cemented.
feel like I'm being gaslit here.
Yeah, you are. Anyway, he.
Or can the Vampy Brides do it for him each day for a year? Is there not one in the castle already?
Maybe.
Can I look around? Can I ask the vampire brides? Yo,
Yo,
there a
girls.
there a teleporty symbol somewhere?
And I will make this
Would I have ever have
nice and
seen
easy.
one?
Yes. Right there.
Oh, hey, Vanessa, there's one right here.
Oh.
How convenient.
Ah.
Say, Esatari, did you learn anything interesting and new last night?
Astari's just looking between Ravi and Vlad and Anessa and Ravi.
It looks like you're sacrificing him. Just saying.
What is
Oh.
the best choice here? Burden or blessing?
I've had my say.
Thinks like it's trying to do the math, like she's like counting on her fingers just how many spells so far. And she'll cast Grace or Restoration on Ravi.
There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna first let you guys know, as a reminder, Ravi technically died. Technically. That's why he turned to stone. So the second he is removed from stone, he will be at 0 hit points making death saves.
No.
Oh, don't worry, I'll follow it up with Spare the Dying.
Yay!
The levels of grievance in your voice, just I love it so much.
At least the second one's a cantrip.
And then I'm backing up with Bear the Dying.
So
I don't want
As-
this chicken alive.
as
I don't
Esatari
care for it.
walks over, Anessa's currently inspecting the sigils on the ground, trying to understand the teleportation circle itself. And you walk up with that kind of begrudging, like, I guess here we go again. And
Oh shit.
you place your hand gently on Ravi's head, and within seconds, this pink light starts to emit very slowly at first, like these small layers that run across his head, like scarring almost. And then you hear cracking as the beak starts to break free, and then very quickly in the next couple of seconds, tons of lines run across Ravi's body, the stone, and shred it. And as it shreds, you see as these cracks push off the chunks of stone, and as they're pushed off, they immediately just burst into plumes of gentle pink smoke. And after that, Ravi's body immediately just kind of slumps and poof. Very quickly, Spare the Dying is applied, with, again, probably a bit of grievance, but I don't think that even if anyone could see her do it, they are too occupied to care. Anessa, you see as Ravi's body just slumps that Ravi is breathing, and the second Vlad sees it, his eyes immediately like wide open, looks over toward Esatari with that kind of like, he doesn't say anything, immediately grabs and hugs Ravi.
Hasn't he already said before that he's going to marry her?
I think that might have happened.
Oh, you solidified it.
And yeah, he holds tightly around Ravi's neck. Maybe
I do.
slightly too
Throttling
tight.
him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Still
I thought you were
unconscious.
dead.
Hmm.
Looking
These two-
from Ravi and Vlad to Esatari and just back again and just go, thank you, and just like look away.
So
Sorry, sir. Like, do I spend another healing spell because he's still unconscious?
that silent
Let's sleep it off.
seething. So, just as a quick sidebar, I'm pretty sure I already said it, but for reiteration, with the latent spell energy lost from Vantress's death, it spread throughout the castle, and a lot of other magical effects were occurring at the time. You guys already had a boost from that, but given that you were also then imbibed with the natural exuding energies of Xandaluvia and his kin, you guys had absorbed a lot of potent energy that increased you and invigorated each of you in these different ways. So what I'm saying is Deus Ex Machina, that's why she can do this now, and obviously you guys leveled up, so Deus Ex Machina. But yeah. What else would you guys like to do? The chicken is back.
Know what we're having for tea?
Hey, when I make that joke, you tell me off.
I was
Yeah.
about to
It's
say.
Everyone
okay
makes
when
sense,
I
yeah.
say it. Well, that's one problem sorted. Should we go get the other dead thing?
I beg your pardon?
What's
I beg your pardon? I'm actually alive, thank you very much. At least I didn't get turned into
I mean-
stone.
I mean,
How
she
many needs
she
you to
doesn't.
fix?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to about what, fucking 19 levels worth of spell slots. So Lycoris, what are you
What?
doing?
I'm skulking. I talked about that. I'm skulking.
Are you
Okay.
sulking?
I'm
Skull.
skulking, not skulking.
She's the king of skulls.
Sorry,
I'm just wandering around, lamenting life.
lamenting.
She's having a shit time.
Talos is
It's a
following you.
hobby of hers.
Talos follows you the whole way.
I'm not surprised.
I prefer fermenting.
I'm sad that I have to leave Talos. I'm really sad.
Well,
I haven't had the conversation with Talos about what I'm gonna do with his previous body.
yeah, I think
That-
that'd be an awkward one, to be fair.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to tell him because he's got to work with me on it, or else it doesn't work. So when it's late at night, when most people are asleep,
Hmm.
I'm gonna just sit him down and say, how do you feel about your current body?
There's a slight eyebrow raise. Are you meaning? Actually, I'm not even. What are you meaning?
You're only alive due to being connected to the building, right?
He kind of looks over his hands. I guess when she died and Haraway got made, whatever. There was a weird moment of a mental push, and I don't know how to explain it. I don't feel connected to this place the same way anymore. But I'm not really sure I should risk it either.
But if I had a way to bring you back again,
You're not
Would-
thinking of trying to kill me, are you?
I'm not saying I'm gonna kill you.
You literally just did. Just caught you.
I'm just saying that if there were a way to bring you back how you were, unconnected to the building, would you want to do that?
He kind of like cracks his neck a little bit, holds his right hand up, and intentionally you see this assortment of colours. A sickly green, a pitch black, a small spark of electric, and even a tiny flicker of flame around his hand. And then he kind of swats it away for a second. I'm not sure that would be good for either of us. Unless it's actually impending, I'm not as strong as we need me to be as my other self.
But
This
you're trapped here.
Well, not really. Remember, I did come and meet you. There's sort of a time limit, but it's not. I don't know. This place, the only reason it matters is because it's where you were. And if I can't meet you out in the world, it's not the worst thing in the world. But I need to be here anyway. This place is important to your past, and it will. If someone messes it up again, I can't leave it here in the hands of someone I don't know. And I know this place like the back of my hands. I would like to go back to a normality, but in all honesty, you're not even in a degree of normality. So I'd rather be somewhere where I can be of greater use to me, to the world, and to you. And that is here. Because if he steps out of line, I've got to break his neck. And then that means you've got to come back and take over anyway.
No, we talked about this. You're not breaking his neck.
But what if he steps out of line? What if I have to break his neck?
No, we've talked about this. You have to do what he says
No, that's fine.
within reason. And if he goes crazy, you tell us and we will come back and help.
And break his neck.
No, because otherwise you'll just die again.
Well, I mean, he kind of shrugs a little bit.
I mean, I know I have your. Did I? I haven't told him that yet. Oh, Well, you know the first time you died.
He kind of just grimaces a little bit. Yep, I recall that.
And I buried you in a very specific hidden place.
No, that's the emphasis of it
Oh.
being hidden.
Oh, well, I've retrieved past you's body.
That's a little weird.
So if you ever die, we can bring you back.
Do you know how weird that's a little weird.
Hey, we had Brewin's body for a while.
Yeah, but
I also have ashes from Ishi
I think
in my pocket, and I'm gonna take out my little baggie.
look, I'm not really one to talk, considering I was essentially a puppet to a pact made in a devil's underground, but you've got a weird connection with death. A weird idea.
I have stuff that's not death. I have the ribbon I stole from Angelina on her journey to Gestaden. And I have the coin I stole from Kier after he patted me on the head.
And
You stole faster.
okay.
I have a note from Lady Devane, and I have all of the tarot card readings from the other party members, and I have Ishi's travel journal.
He makes sure that you two are alone. Kind of like looks around and goes, "Look, I don't take this out of any bad way, but at least when Trafalgar steals, it's not really hurting or weird anybody. You took things from people
He
that
legitimately used
are
to
of
inhale
emotional
dead skin
significance.
cells.
Did he know that?
That's not the point. He still did it.
Ah, he points
Hey.
at you.
Hey, a coin from Kier is of no significance to him. The ribbon from Angelina is just a pretty hair bow. It's not important.
But
The
did
others-
you
the others
tell
already-
them you took it?
They dropped it.
He raises an eyebrow.
If it's on the floor, it's fair game.
So what you're telling me is, when any of your allies take something that happens to no longer belong to anyone living, they are also okay. Or if they give it up.
I have things I haven't taken as well.
He
I have things I was
laughs.
given. I have the photographs I was given. And then I'm gonna slightly remember that one of them is of Orlinth, and I'm gonna take it out and rip it up and just throw it in the air like confetti.
He looks at it as the pieces fall. Yeah, okay, I feel like
It's
that's
fine.
something I'm not wanting to unpack. Um,
I
so,
mean, it's nothing that anyone will ever miss.
well,
And
it's a little weird. It's just
I'm
a little weird. You're what? Nigh immortal, essentially. And I'm
exactly.
whatever Frankenstein, like, monstrosity with my whole deal. So, why... You have an unhealthy obsession with life and death.
Yeah, well, I live forever, so it's kind of part and parcel of that, isn't it?
But you keep... Or, well, steal
When
reminders?
when I had this conversation with Anriel, it went a very different way.
Yeah, well, the guy sounds like a dick. I'm not gonna lie. If he's gonna just tell you what you want to hear, what's the point?
No, he has kept trinkets of people who were important to him that have died.
Was it amicable?
I didn't feel that was my place to ask.
Yeah, it was probably amicable.
I haven't stolen any. I haven't stolen anything from these people.
You
I
mean
have
your
nothing.
friends?
Yeah,
So she doesn't care enough about us.
I was gonna
I
say, it's the meaning she doesn't like us enough.
I have stolen things from people that I don't talk with anymore.
Such as your sister.
Yeah, the
If
sister,
that's
the sister that I barely speak to because no one's allowed to know I'm related.
Then why are you taking things from them?
Because it's nice to have things left over when you can't see the people anymore.
But why not? You,
Because that's
you,
just.
you have all of these magnificent friends, and you have Lupula, who is honestly fucking a whole nother
I've
level.
stolen nothing from Lupla.
Yeah, let's be honest. I don't
I
think
have no
either of
interest
us
in
could.
taking anything from him.
But you've got all these fantastic friends that can lift the heights of the world, and you're not leaning on them.
Hey, I didn't come here to be to. When did you learn this?
I had a
Did
few
you used to do
centuries.
this? Did you used to do this to me and I just didn't realize at the time?
No, but look, a lot has happened, and I, 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 I don't know. Just a lot's happened, and I'm tired.
Would you like your body back?
No. What do I need it for? I can punch people a lot with this.
Okay, do you want me to put it back in the ground?
You. Mm. Yes, please.
I told you I told you I had it. What, do you think I'm connected to the ground? Saying I had it was indicative of the fact that it was out of the ground.
It also implies.
Yes, I did dig up your grave, but
Yeah,
we all do things.
it's weird, okay? It's weird. You've got a very weird obsession with death. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
You can't even tell me I'm not.
I feel like you can't argue with it really.
But anyway, the point notwithstanding fully, just I can't go anywhere else. I'm needed here. And in my old body, frankly, I wouldn't be strong enough. I'd be useless. I need to be able to defend this place. In the event that one day it really needs defending. And if you do come back, I'm here. And if you just want to visit, I'm here. And from what I've already clearly explained, I can sort of temporarily come and go. So if you do need my help, I will come. Obviously, make sure that it's not like I think about a week is my limit. But I start to get all flaky and it's a whole horrible thing. So, make it a quick in out kind of thing.
Sounds like visiting a dog at home.
well, I'm gonna have to find a new place to bury you because I put Breewin in your death hole.
Can we-
so-
Can we just stop talking about the whole my dead body thing? It's really weird. It's like someone's like scratching a chalkboard,
I
but
could
the
put you in the
chalkboard is
suit
your
of armor.
spine. You can
If
do
you're
my
in the
what?
suit of armor, no one would. You put it in a suit of armor, and no one would ever think it was in there.
I'm gonna
You
walk
have
away
to
now.
hide it in case someone takes
I'm
it.
walking, and then she starts to walk down the hallway ahead of you.
I will go rebury the body, but I'm keeping like a finger bone.
Okay.
I need it for insurance purposes.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in my inventory.
She's dead bodied finger bone.
We all have our crosses to bear, guys.
And now you have his finger to
We
bear.
all have issues.
Anessa,
Yeah.
and subsequently probably Vlad and or Esatari as well. What do you want to do?
Oh no. I'm just waiting for someone to make a decision on what we're doing.
Why is everyone saying
Not judging at all.
Hey, you're just jealous that I took nothing from any of you.
I've done a sad thing.
Brown
That no.
bear.
Okay. Well, yeah, Vlad is just fully gonna be like waiting for Ravi to get up, so he's sort of occupied. He does.
Yeah, I'm just watching them.
He does. After a couple of minutes, like walk up to you, Esatari, and just a little bit too heavy of a hug, and you do feel things kind of like squeezing a little bit as you're being like pressure squeezed. But you kind of just like, okay, yep, nope, no, oh, this was cute the first 2 seconds. Now it's too much. Now it's too much. And then kind of lets go after a couple of seconds, and he looks toward Anessa and says, just let me know if you ever want to be alone together.
Sarah's been reaching out to pat his head and like stopped. It's like,
What is this? Hey, sussy. And you said I was weird.
Hey, as far as he knows, those two, there's still a maybe not thing.
He doesn't know what I saw. I just cough and give like a little bit of a glance up and then just kind of shuffle away.
Sarah's just like looking away, brushing her hair behind her ear.
And then I'll just like pat Ravi as I go and just be like,
So thinking like I left him unconscious, thinking maybe Anessa could revive him with one of her spells, but
And Ness is
Wait,
like,
what
for
do I
that
have about
awkward conversation, you're getting nothing from me.
what do I have?
well, you've got every spell in existence.
But
Surely
I don't
you
have
have.
any healing spells.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
She has
I've got a lot
access.
of stuff.
She has access to all the wizard and warlock spells.
Yeah, but I don't think any of those heal anything.
You've got all the necromancy spells.
Yeah,
That
but
too.
that's like creepy shit. Hold on.
Okay, rather than you make some like weird ass necromantic chicken, I will just cure him.
Hold on, 1 minute. No. You don't do it begrudgingly. I'll do it if I can.
I was waiting for you to swoop in and be the heroic older sister, okay?
I want us to actually be saying this.
I'm speaking to you telepathically. Come on, can
Come
you
on.
not do this yourself?
In that exact tone
I
of
can
voice.
animate dead. I can.
Well,
Please
sadly, he's no
no.
longer dead, so.
Sadly. I can give him some black tentacles. I can make him invisible. I can get him a dog friend.
Problem, disappearo! Turn it invisible.
I can do stone shape so Rami thinks he's a stone again and be like, haha, trolled you.
Just pour some vodka down his throat.
So far, your
genuinely-
solutions have been turn him back into stone, and I wish you hadn't revived him so I could raise him from the dead.
I genuinely don't have anything. that-
Well, you could always just
Heal
wait
him.
the next 8 hours,
Yeah, just let him sleep it off.
because either way,
He's a fucking
That's
chicken.
gonna be how long it takes for us to make a decision
Yeah.
on where
it
to go.
well, to be fair, either way, 8 hours is the minimum that Lupula needs for his long rest to get
Yeah,
his
we
Can't
teleport
leave
back.
anyway.
Yeah, you can just have a little rest.
So
I'll
literally,
pretend that I helped.
if you guys want to just be like flying spells around everywhere, you're more than welcome.
Cool.
The barrier is reforged, so no one can blip in here willy
Oh
nilly.
fuck! Sorry,
No one can
I will
see.
do spells.
I didn't mean to do that. But this is interesting. If we're gonna rest for 8 hours
Dream.
anyway, I might have someone make a really weird sleep.
You're gonna give everyone like a weird fucking drug ass dream.
No, I'm gonna make Azatara dream about me.
See,
Don't worry, I can't dream.
I was
I
gonna
know
say.
it says if a creature can't dream anyway. Oh wait, it can't be contacted. Never mind. Ew. I read it wrong.
It's almost like Megan Foresaw this day coming. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick a race that can't
Dream.
dream.
I
No.
don't think I can really affect anyone with that.
I can't dream either, if that helps.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I know you can't dream. Who else can't dream?
That's because I'm dead inside, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't stop magic spell
I'm
though.
gonna give Trafalgar a night.
I mean, it doesn't stop the spell for me.
Everyone bar Asatari dreams.
I just
Some
don't
of us
sleep.
live in reality, okay?
You live in a degree of optimism.
Astari's it's just gonna pat Ravi, wake him up for their reunion, and she's just gonna leave. I'll leave you to your family reunion
As
and dart
the-
off towards Trafalgar.
She's like, "Vroom," as you
It was a dark time when she chooses Trafalgar over me.
as you lay your hand on Ravi's head and the magic courses, you take no time to stand up and be like, okay, I'm gonna let you do your thing, and you start walking off with a little bit of a brisker pace than normal, and Ravi's head kind of like flicks, and yeah, Vlad immediately just starts petting his little ruffledge, and yeah, the boy is ever the spell sink as always.
No, he's not. He's fine.
Yes, he
Worth
definitely
it.
hasn't absorbed 30 plus levels of spells.
Worth it. Love him.
So, as your boy is brought back up, you two enjoy a couple of minutes together with him. A lot of his motions are wild, slightly confused, but seeing the pair of you, he calms down very quickly and is incredibly playful, to the point that he pins Vlad down at one point in a kind of playful way, and Vlad just easily wrenches his leg off because there's no pressure behind it, and in a weird way they start kind of play fighting almost at first. It's yeah. But yeah.
I'm just like, gosh. I'm looking at him like, oh, what a child, but then I'm actually just like, oh, I'm so glad. And I just do a little glance over, just being like,
Oh,
Thank
as well,
you.
with the amount of time that's passed, the magic circle underneath you can be used as a teleportation circle destination. So, if you are teleported away from this location, you can use teleportation circle to go back.
nice. Do I have to study it for that, or is it just like a thing?
No, it's just a thing though. The last couple of minutes would have been used to understand the formula of the circle.
Yeah.
Conru. Obviously, we were in the middle of something else secretly on the side.
We don't want to know
totally-
about your secret goings on.
We totally
Keep it to
didn't do anything
yourself.
yesterday.
If we wanted to know that, we just watched the VOD.
Nobody asked.
But there wasn't one.
There was no one. We did, you dirty.
It was secrets.
I'm telling.
Who?
Dunno.
The D&D police.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, not again.
That-
I've already got 2 strikes. One more and they take my Roll20 account from me.
They take
Um,
away homebrew privileges.
No! That's what I live off
They
of!
bring about the D&D FBI.
That bring about Ragnarok. But for D&D.
The D&D BI.
Oh god. You of course have stuff. Do you want to kind of just wait and see if people end up in your general vicinity, or would you like to mosey on to the nearest village?
That might be the case of the second one because, well, if they were to mosey on whilst I was still staying, it would be a bit awkward.
You would have been in transit as the game started, essentially. Well, to be fair, you were doing other stuff, but long story short, the premise is that when they inevitably get to the point where they do take a long rest for Lupula to get his spells, at the end of that long rest, you would have done all of the bits up to the start of the game, and then would have been halfway toward the nearest village. So, technically speaking, they're 8 hours behind at the minute.
My question being is, how would Phoebus take this news?
With a pinch of salt, he knows that someone he can trust is taking you around. Not to mention Lance is also going with you.
Wait, Lance is coming with?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my boy Lance.
I'm assuming you don't really tell, although to be fair, he basically knows everything, it wouldn't really matter. I'm assuming you key him in on what your relationship is with Merrick.
I can do that on the journey there.
Okay.
Because
Then-
it would be a bit awkward talking to him and trying to find places and
4 different
spaces in
conversations
between-
that no
in
one really
between of
understands.
trying to tell him this while Phoebus every so often is like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you sure you want to go with Merrick? I know this will help you learn things, but yeah, he's a big softy and even that.
But yeah, no, surprisingly, he seems fine about it. Like, there is a twinge of, like, you know the risks, the kind of stare, but
But then I get the other look of that he's looking at me like he's growing up. This new side, ever since the other day, he's become more responsible. He seems more.
like himself, like the boy I knew growing up. But yeah, long story short, you mostly get away with it scot-free. Along the journey,
Yeah, that's the other thing you haven't really said, but this is going to be the very awkward thing of everyone else seeing the new situation on hand. Not only my new body,
Aye.
because of the other developments.
it's
I'm not saying anything.
it's nothing to do with them yet.
Yeah.
Meta, baby, we're gonna establish. So as you are walking toward the nearest village, which is called Erda, ERDA, or sorry, ERDDA. Simple place, small houses here and there, like one floor about like 10, maybe 12 foot wide, with about the same in general length, and simple folk. It's a lot of farmers mostly, and you'll find maybe a merchant passing by now and again. It's just alongside a soft, carved through road. There's small bits of patches of grass here and there that are growing, and they have something of a small farm with simple stuff like carrots and the like growing, little bits of apples and all that. They have something of a half decent a greenhouse almost. It isn't comprised fully of glass. It's mostly just the top layer, and even then it just looks like the roof itself is just the glass bit. The rest of it is just wooden, and a lot of their buildings are wooden, with the odd bits and pieces that are replaced by some kind of metallic. They have a large water tank at the further back side of the village that people can easily go to, refresh whatever basins or jugs or the like they need. It seems to connect to a stream that's nearby that just consistently flows gently toward and from two large bodies of water. And in terms of hunting and the like, it doesn't seem like there's really many wild animals running around, or at least any that are willing to be caught so easily. You do see a couple of boar like walking in the distance, as well as a couple of deer, and yeah, they never get close enough to the village itself. You've got possibly around about the 200 mark of people, and as you three start walking into town, it would have been like at best an hour's walk. It is fairly close to home. As you make your way, people seem to know you to some description. Each of them, you'll have the odd one that will call you by name, others that will just kind of give you the basic platitudes of a hey person. But otherwise it's mostly Hunter that they say their hellos to, and it's usually in a kind of loosely friendly way. It's that he does things that we like, but we don't like him. So it's kind for the sake of just casual kindness. As you make it to the middle of town, he kind of stops and turns around, looks to you and goes, "Well, we're in the middle of town. What do you want to do? There's not really all that much. There's a tavern. There's they've got something equivalent to a banking system. You've also got obviously the greenhouse over there, large tanker of water, and there's technically an in-house, a place you can stay, but obviously you've got your lavish little mansion, just in the event that your little friends come creeping around. So what do you want to do while we're here? Where do you want to start first?"
As much as I would like a drink, probably not exactly going to be the best thing for me to do, because I still need to figure out what I'm doing from here on, because my companions are probably sure to be making their way somehow, and I need to think of ways of how I can get in touch with them, because any form of messaging that they do have, they would need to be closer and not the other side of, well, here. And to be honest, I sort of, Brewin sort of looks around, he's like, he says it quite quietly. I tried using magic earlier. It didn't quite agree with my current vessel. I'm not quite used to using magic in this body that is the magic that I use, so I need to sit down and somewhat try and channel some form of my magic to circulate through the body. Assuming it works.
Well, Not exactly a magic man myself, so I'm not sure I can help you. But
No, but somewhere quiet would be nice. And away from prying eyes.
he kind of looks around and you see like 30 different people, and he just goes, "Yeah, we might want to, you might have been good telling me that before we got here. Let's turn back around and we'll find a nice couple of trees for you to torch." And you three kind of walk off. You leave the village and kind of take a little look around, and there's the greenhouse, which is a little bit out of view, and it's enough away from the town that if you went behind the greenhouse and started firing something off, as long as it wasn't some implosion or explosion that caused a quite clear and obvious flash, you get away with it.
Freeman sort of looks as I'm being brought over, and I just raise an eyebrow. And as we get behind the greenhouse, I say, "What do you mean by cause a scene and blast?"
Well, I assume since your shit ain't working, that if you do it wrong, it's gonna detonate. I'm not a magic man, I'm just taking assumptions here.
I was just going to simply sit down and try and concentrate my magic to circulate around my body. Assuming, well, I've not exactly the most studious type of magic. I've just been naturally gifted, for crying out loud. I've never tried this stuff before. I've seen people do it. I've seen monks do it. I've seen wizards do something similar, but they're reading a book.
Don't get me
I'm
wrong,
assuming-
but do you really think that's gonna work for you?
Well, I've got a feeling. How else do you start a fire? You don't exactly just conjure fire out of nothing if
You're a magic man. That's literally what you do.
Well, think of me as wood in the middle, and you need something to try and focus and
You need
generate heat.
kindling, yes, but are you sure that sitting down and thinking about it is gonna do it? And I'm not doubting you. I am literally asking, are you sure that's what's gonna do it?
I don't know, but I'm hoping it might, because I'm not exactly the type to really sit around, but I feel, as I'm currently at a change of pace within a new body, I want to try something that has a change of pace in itself.
Well, alright. You
I
kind of
don't know, I'm just winging it.
emotions toward the ground, and you kind of find a little perch on the ground, cross your legs, and you think of a kind of just general pose that people do, one that would allow airflow to move back and forth easy enough. What?
I sort of sit on the ground, awkwardly with my knees up. I put my arms around and I just sit there for like a minute, and then I'm just like, "Yeah, this doesn't feel right." And then I just sort of like sit cross-legged, and I sort of like, do I put my hands up like monks do? And I start to do it. I raise my hands, I raise them back, lower them back down on my lap, and I just like, no, that's just stupid. And then I just sit there with my arms crossed and my
You
legs
notice,
crossed,
like,
and I just
after the
sit there.
first, like, couple of movements, he just walks off. He just kind of leaves you to it.
Yeah. I just take a very deep inhale and then just a very, very long, almost side exhale. And then I just try and center my mind, and I try and feel the familiar sense of my own magic and try and sort of like let it flow from my body. I try and think of like in my mind, I try and think like a circle, sort of similar to a current, just going around and round.
Make a Constitution check.
Okay. I'd like to use my inspiration.
Okay. You roll it again with advantage. So roll one more.
Okay, gotcha.
There you go. So as you're sat there, you're kind of focusing. You're just casually breathing very gently through your nose, and thoughts are passing through, and you focus on that specific image of a circle and just something moving around that circle consistently. And as you're thinking about that, there is a weird kind of sensation that you have beginning in your stomach that then slowly moves down and up at the same time, down towards your knees, up towards your chest, and towards your toes, towards your fingertips, your skull. And as you're breathing and thinking, and you feel your eyes close on instinct, and that image of the circle fully like in view, essentially. Make a charisma check.
Okay.
17 is nice. You start to feel this weird drawing sensation of your senses being pulled somewhere, and you can still kind of like feel your body, you still feel the breath entering your lungs, but your eyes focus differently. You still see the image of that circle, but then you also start to see as it's almost like spots of your vision while your eyes are closed start to patch themselves into a different image. And once the entire thing is revealed, there's this wondrous canvas of an image of Cliff as Cliff running forward, drawing energy from his palm that looks to be golden in nature, and thrusting it forward towards what looks to be a large entity with fire covering its entire body. The eyes of this fiery-like entity are these bright red, and the creature's fire has caught the village that's literally right behind you and is burning it, is roasting it. You see people trying to flee, but this creature is throwing motes of fire down toward them and destroying them on instant. And your golden motes of energy look very similar to your golden sparrows of the magic missiles as they seem to fly towards the fiery light entity. As it hits it, it seems to take effect, but the creature doesn't seem to react any differently to it. But its eyes do then gaze over toward yours, and you see as the entire large form of this flowing fire moves towards you with a sudden rush. And then that's when, almost like someone's smacked straight into your face, you are knocked back to your senses, and you do kind of... If you've ever tried VR, it's like if suddenly the VR headset like shows you falling over, you start to fall over on instinct, and your body just kind of like falls backwards, and because you're rested against the wall, you only really like gently nudge your head against the wall, and you're thrown for a second. Your entire body is shaking, and you see these what look to be small black lines that seem to encompass where your veins are around your wrists for a moment before they very quickly recede. You believe that to be a vision of the future.
I sort of sit back, look to my hands, think about it, and I just rub my hand on my temple, and I just go, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Are you done?
I sort of stare, just looking very grumpy.
Oh, he's on the other side of the wall. He can't see you.
I'm just gonna stay silent and just have this very deadpan grump look on my face
Okay. You'll poke his head
until he
around.
comes round to just tell him.
He just pokes his head around and looks at you. Come on, we're not doing 20 questions. What
I
happened?
sort of. Well, it's definitely Cliff's body, and I've now got to get used to something. And did you know that Cliff was somewhat of a semi-clairvoyant?
Yeah, no, surprisingly not. Also, if he was a clairvoyant, why the fuck did he die?
No idea, but it seems that he knew that I was coming, and I got told this by Lance, and looked through many of his books, which I understood due to some of the information was written in Celestial, and it turns out he spent majority of his years, quote unquote, studying in his room, finding out about the cult, the Apex Fate, and also learning magic of the wizardry kind to see ahead of the future, becoming a miniature clairvoyant, whilst also sacrificing 20 years of his life to achieve it.
This entire time as you've been speaking after coming out of that, Lance is like gently dabbing you down to remove bits of what you didn't realise is like sweat and stress on your body. And he's just like holding out a small flask of water, or at least you think it's water anyway.
I sort of, at this point, sort of like realised Lance had been there because I hadn't realised. And I sort of like have a bit of a shock, and I'm just like, okay, thank you. I drink the water very casually, just to sit. I just had a vision, I think. And it's not good. I think we need to move from here.
Big, much like I'm used to. All right, come on then. He kind of like
Were you attacked by demons before, or have you been along the road?
he raises an eyebrow with that face of like, you're not seriously telling me that you think I've been attacked by a demon, survived.
Well, we best get moving, otherwise you may find out if you can survive one very soon or not.
Well, I'm not exactly a big fan of the idea, so let's fucking scarper, shall we? Also, must point one thing out. I'm not going to be able to run from it. Obvious reasons, bad knees. But I've got a silver crossbow to shoot the cunt with, so I think I'll do alright. But, you know, if you're scared of fighting it, that's fine. By the sounds of it, that thing's going to appear around here. And now if you're telling me I raised a child that's going to abandon people, then we've got some fucking words to be having.
No, you haven't raised a coward. It's just the fact that if it's after me, and my last encounter with one didn't really seem to give a shit about everyone else, it seemed to go for me, so if I'm leaving here, there's a high chance that it will probably bypass here and maybe find a different way to ambush us, and all we need to be doing is just playing mental chess with it.
What do you reckon your chances of being attacked by the Apex is between here and back home?
Not gonna lie, I want to say it's very slim considering they think I'm dead.
Well, in that case, I'm going to stick around and make sure the people of this town are safe, and shoot the fucker just in case he decides that a slim chance of burning the village down brings you anywhere near it. Because,
Okay, fine.
believe it or not, these people have done a lot for me. Especially when I was on the run, after helping you get away. Now, I'm not gonna say you owe them. I gave you your life specifically so you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. You were a good child. And I'm gonna assume, if and when this monster comes crawling, you'll be right here fighting it with me.
Yes.
Good. Then
Looks nervously at his hands and he's like, I'm like, yeah, I'll do what I can.
good. No. It appears you might not have gotten the answer you wanted with your magic, but you've unlocked whatever the fuck Cliff could do. Now, he holds out his hands with that kind of expression of like, I don't know. I don't know what his whole deal was. I'm assuming you could do magic as well, similar to what you could do. You're just gonna have to figure it out as you go, I think. Worst case,
Yes.
I've got plenty of extra arms on me.
Yeah. Fair enough. I would have probably felt just a little bit more comfortable with the newly acquired weapon I had before I got stabbed through the heart.
Just casual reminder. Make a no. Roll a d10.
Roll a d10.
So you have still got a connection to a certain fracture, considering the fracture binds to the person's soul, not the person's body. So you can literally right now flick your hand forward and summon it.
Which, not gonna lie, I will say that as I look to my hand and think of it, because I'm not well. If you remember correctly, Brewin was still trying to figure out how to use it, and he made it appear in the last battle, which he felt was through luck.
Okay, then another question. If he summons it, you would notice it disappear. Yeah, it's a pretty important thing to lose.
I have it on my back,
Yeah.
so I'm just going to be
if the
walking
question
and be
is-
like, what?
If the question is, would I like to summon it, then I'm
Yes.
going to say yes.
So, well, actually, it was a different question first. Thinking about that weapon, what one word would you use to describe your relationship with it?
One word.
Mm-hmm. Or a sentence if you're really that strapped.
Well, I was going to say, one word would not be enough to describe the relationship. Well, actually, I could use one word.
Go on then.
And that one word would be courage. Because that courage is the very form and memory I was imbued with when I used to think of how I was in my older days using Star Thunder. I
As
think
you
what's right. Courage to stand up for everyone.
as you think of it, and you think of the weapon, and the word, or well, the feeling it burns in your very soul. You don't even need to move your hands; it just appears, phases into existence, into your palm, into your grasp. And in that same moment, of course, like Chorus, as you're wandering the halls, it's not even like obviously there's suddenly a lack of weight on you. It's the case of like you sense something before it happens. You turn and look behind yourself, and you see the spear just phases out of creation. There's a gentle silver and gold light that emits for a second as it disappears. And you you feel essentially Brewin. You feel the kind of energy, the emotion of him. You feel his intention, and you feel weirdly invigorated as well. You feel that same courage that he felt while thinking about it.
I'm just gonna turn around and be like, Lupilla! And go and find him. Because I don't know what the fuck just happened.
Okay. But yeah, Connor, you summon Star Sunder back to your hand.
And at this point, I just look very surprised, and I'm having a conversation with Merrick as we're walking, and then I think of it, and I sort of like it appears in my hands, and I'm like,
He's currently like slowly walking in front of you. You're following him behind, just in case he, his knees do play up. And as you summon it, and you're just looking down, like, he slowly stops and turns around, not hearing your footsteps, and goes, "What are you doing, lagging?" No. Well, that's not exactly a new one to me, but interesting. Well, there you go. You've got your party trick.
Ruben sort of like lets out a very if anything, I wouldn't say he. Actually, it almost slips very much out of him. Quite a gleamful smile. Sort of like, oh my god, that worked.
You
Almost like a kid who's just discovered that he can make fat noises with his palms.
You hear in a echo in the back of your mind, from a voice that sounds distant, but in a weird way sounds like it's spoken right in your ear, like the two parts. You hear, "We are always here. All you have to do is call. The stars might disappear from the sky, but Star Sunder will be the one to do it. And until you decide it must end, we will be waiting to take out your enemy for you. Just call, champion." And yeah. I'm going to move on to people.
That's fine, because all I was going to say is everyone will try to sort of like make Star Sunder, well, magically dissipate for the moment until I need him.
So with the intention, you just think, I need to put this away, you let go, it disappears immediately. You still sort of feel that connection with it, and I mean, even if you had a shadow of a doubt, you kind of like think about it, it summons back again if you wanted to.
Yeah. As I follow Merrick, just before you go to the others, I'll just end it with going to Merrick as I'm following him, going, I think I will have that drink, actually.
When did I mention, you know what, the drink's always good, fuck it. And then you two start to wander off toward the tavern.
Free.
Don't
forget my boy Lance.
Yeah, boy. Double A Ron, you see a lovely familiar face, also known as the Satari, come walking your way. And the Satari, of course, you're walking toward him, so you're also involved. Yay!
Sari's kind of like just rushing away from the situation she was just in, and it's like, oh, Trafalgar. How are you doing? I'm sure it must have been quite a difficult day. the election and all. Gestures towards the table we're stood next to.
Erin, are you by any chance muted?
Aaron.
I'm
No,
gonna
he's just blanking at Atari.
He's just like, I don't like this girl. She's too nice and makes me regret things. Screw that. Yeah.
That's how much he didn't want to be a part of it.
he avoids us in real life. It's like, okay, I get it.
So, can you hear me now?
Nope.
Yeah.
Good.
Not a word.
Cool. Alright. Cool. Good. As she brushes over, I'm just gonna ask what the rush is. What's the rush, Atari? Where are we going?
Well, we haven't decided that, have we? No. We've just not spoken in a while, and I was just wanted to see how you're doing.
Yeah, doing well. Obviously, things weren't so great a couple of days ago, but we're here now, new king and all, and we're richer for it. And as I say that, I'm going to give a little cheeky wink, as if she is going to know what that means.
Is he really happy?
I mean, you can insight check him.
I just did.
Oh.
Am I really happy? So what do I do against that?
You do a deception.
Depends if you're really happy or not.
you either do a deception, or if you find that insight's good enough for the base layer of how you feel, you just tell her straight.
No, yeah, I am happy. It's just, like I say, we're richer for having a friend in power.
I agree. I'm very glad you feel that way too.
And also richer with money, so...
Money!
But let's it pass. I'm like, where's the money coming to this? Never mind.
I'm gonna hand her 10 gold as if it's nothing. And just like, see, friends in high places pays off.
First time he's ever given me anything. Oh
And it's money, the thing he hoards like a dragon.
I know.
Which he
It's
was.
the thing he loves. It's what he loves most. Oh my god. Thank you. Oh, I can see. Clearly, this is working out well for us all. She just pushes any doubts to the back of her mind. No. This is all good.
It's changing him for the better.
What are your thoughts on what we should do next? Do you want to return to Gustodon or carry on directly to Brewin?
Well, I don't have any links in Gustodon, but I know we left your uncle and some other people. Brewin's supposed to be in Janasta, which I have family, which is where I was thinking about going when the undead were on their way before we came here. So I'd probably go Janasta if everyone else was on board.
That makes sense. You did want to return there. That is our end destination, obviously.
Well, what are your thoughts, though?
I would personally like to see how Gustodon is faring. We left it in the midst of war, but we were going to go to Janasta anyway. That was our next step. So, personally, I'd like to take a day's detour, but we do need to catch up with Rewin wherever he's, ended up and what he's doing.
He'll be fine. Sure. It's not like he'll be in a farmhand's body, starving or anything. Like, he always lands on his feet somehow.
It's the
And you're right. Well, if he still has them, Who knows? One day an angel, another day a demon, maybe? Devil? Whatever.
Oh dear.
I don't know.
Worrying.
Janastus home to lots of different species. He could be anything.
Oh, I see.
But-
Oh dear.
I didn't doubt to this a demon? Oh no! We need to go to Janesta right now.
We gotta slay the demons.
Do we know what everyone else is thinking?
I believe Lycoris wants to go straight to Janasta. I'm not sure about anyone else.
Well, if you want to go to Gastodon, I'll back you in this one. I feel like Chorus is maybe a little bit too the head of this group at the minute. And seeing as I only got 2 votes, I'm not going to let her continue with that.
Who the fuck are you? I don't want to be that.
You.
You fucking do it.
Well, like I said, you've been wanting to go to Janasta for how long have we been here? How long since we?
A couple of days at least.
For days. That's where you wanted to go straight there. So I really wouldn't want to deter you from your path, but I just figure, a short detour. But would it end up being that way?
I think if
Knowing
way
us.
home isn't gonna make any difference with a few days extra to check on people that you love and people that we're friends with.
biggest question mark I've ever heard.
Estari's very moved by his thoughtfulness.
Make an insight check.
Which one of us?
You.
No, I believe him.
Oh, okay, fair enough then.
He's just like genuinely moved, like, oh my god. Oh. Can't believe
This
it.
new relation
He's
he's
grown
found is
so much.
amazing.
Oh, he's grown so much.
He's matured.
I really appreciate you saying that, Trafalgar. Thank you very much. Gives him an awkward pat on the arm.
That's probably the most physical contact that isn't harm that he's had since Alden, I think.
Yeah.
Fucking jeez. So, as she pats you on the shoulder, seemingly she's not aware of it, and maybe it's one of your things, but there is this warmth that you feel on your shoulder as she makes contact, and as she makes contact, for a moment your eyes kind of have this small like blurred gloss where you see this gentle pink flowing aura running off of her around the edges, and it moves kind of like slow smoke, and then when her hand leaves contact, your eyes return to normal and that appearance has disappeared.
Do I mention it? I don't think I'm going to mention it. I'm going to
Just
think
been
that's...
initiated into the harem.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like.
That's how
God.
it gets you.
Party member obtained.
No.
You are now
collecting
permanently
trophies.
charmed.
She's making her way around the room. Well, her and Lycoris had a moment earlier, apparently. I
Did we?
remember. Yeah, it's the only bit of the thing that I remember. You guys are trying to make me jealous.
I don't remember having a moment.
Yeah, it wasn't a moment. It just looked like it from my angle. Which
Oh,
was on purpose
yeah, I
from
remember
you.
I
I was
don't-
like, oh,
You know, the jealous
it was
ex-girlfriend.
your idea, Rachel.
Oh yeah, when I was sleeping.
Yeah. in the dragon's nest.
I was
When,
Yeah,
when
I
you
think-
when you were just like raising your head up, you put your head on her shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no,
think-
in
I
her
think
lap, in her
was
lap.
moving.
Tired.
Yeah, you were my lap.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
tired. It's just friends being friends. I'm
Yeah.
tired.
It was on purpose, I heard.
No,
Anessa doesn't know it's on purpose.
nobody knows except the dragon.
It was as I teleported in.
Is Esatari and Trafalgar done their conversation, or do you have anything else you would like to mention?
Esatari's good.
Okay. Trafalgar.
Might just ask some like brief questions about Esatari and how kind she is and how caring she is that she actually wants to look after the people we saved from Alden, kind of thing, but nothing too deep.
Hey, no, go ahead. If you have any specific questions, like
I cannot remember anyone's names from Alden
I'll fill
or
you
what we
in,
did
don't
with
worry.
them. Who, like, I remember we saved the girl stable.
And her brother.
No, I still worry about her
And-
brother.
Ela
her-
Howard
and her brother.
and I can't find the brother's token, but yeah, Ela Howard.
Yeah.
The
I'm
barkeep
just-
was called like something with a K.
Well,
Karen?
Katrina.
Well-
Karina.
I'm
well,
just worried about
I
Biscuit.
think it was Katrina.
well, the bar
Bis-
owner was called Urid. The
No, the big boobied lady. I don't
yeah,
care
she,
about the
she
dude.
was called she was called Katrina. Yeah.
I
had
remember
big
her
boobs,
'cause she
right?
had big boobies.
Yeah, she had
Yeah.
big boobs.
I don't remember anyone who doesn't have big boobs in this thing.
Anriel and Kier as well.
I
And
Yes.
remember that.
Sinon's dead, man. He's mold.
Fucking Sino.
Oh, pain.
I had a thing against him from the start.
And
Did
he
we leave
died.
here?
He
Moldy
died like a
boy.
hero, and you fuckers
Moldy
were like,
boy.
"Ew, he sucks because his name's Mold." It's like, fuck all of you.
I did. I have a
They
filter
did.
on it. It's justified.
No, we were sad when he died though.
Yeah, but I still said moldy boy.
You doubted him and his
Moldy
full-hearted
boy
intention
said-
to protect the people.
Well, he was
No,
being a bit
we
of a
took
prick when
the
met him.
piss out of him because he was a wet blanket, and every time I looked at him, he whimpered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not okay. Come on, you're a little bit scary.
yeah. To be
that
fair.
Whimpered
Scary.
too, but I keep it internal.
Hold on. Like Horace, literally in the first like 5 sessions, jumped off a cliff, impaled a bandit through the skull and slammed his body into the ground, split him in two, and used the blood as inspiration to intimidate the others. If that's not fucking scary, I give up. Like, just.
Which
Everyone else
Which
was
was the
cool
guy?
with it.
which was the guy with the creepy scythe that she had a thing for as well?
No, that was.
Kier.
And
what-
Anriel, Kier?
No, Kier took the scythe. I don't know how we left him.
No,
You
Kier
weren't-
didn't take the scythe. Anriel has a scythe. It's bound to his soul.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
wants
and
to put
Kier
that.
I
wanted
think
it.
Unreal was the one that I liked.
Kier,
It was like the book one.
Kier's the one that's got cancer, and he wants to have the scythe because the scythe would prolong his life, but also something to do with it being his birthright.
Is elf
Yeah.
heritage.
No, it's just his birthright. He
It's his
essentially
birthright, but
Is it-
Anriel got it because he got it to save Kier.
he Kier
He took the deal.
Kier essentially is from a native druidic people that lived in the Yonima Void, and that was a family heirloom essentially. But because Anriel was the only viable person to pick up the scythe and allow the scythe to not be buried, he took it, and it's now bound to him. Because, believe it or not, magic items don't always want to be buried underground about 100 feet below.
Probably not.
Oh, shocking.
It'd be kind of boring, you know.
But Esatari didn't have a thing for either of those, did she? It was like Chorus that had a thing, and
Yeah.
then Essa that had a thing for
Yeah.
them. Yeah. So
I think
yeah,
we
I,
all appreciate that they were attractive dudes, but
I mean, yeah.
no,
it was us
Yeah.
that were being the hoes
Yeah.
over them.
I hated them
You hated everyone. It was kind of
because
hard
you
to
literally
find someone you liked.
You literally showed no like or interest in anybody in the party, and this guy comes along and you were swooning,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun.
Just because he was another elf.
Hey,
swooning and
hey.
opening up.
Like a dirty, like broody guy.
No,
Yes.
it's all coming out now.
He started being jealous there, Trafalgar. Lucaris is allowed to have friends outside of the party.
Friends.
Yeah,
Friends.
Hey, she's
ones that won't backstab her.
You were definitely gonna bang him though. Like you
she
went to
did
his
no
parade.
banging.
Yeah, but
did
she
no banging.
wanted to until he
She
took
did.
the scythe.
Nope, she's a good girl. She's a good
Nope.
girl.
Nope,
She literally
I
took him
remember.
back to his house and bored him to sleep.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I remember
that. I put him on the sofa. I was like, well,
I'm bored.
off
I'm
we go.
leaving.
In fairness, I'm pretty sure did he not get like really drunk or something? Was that not?
Yeah,
Am
he said he would.
Yeah, I remember that actually.
I
yeah.
remember. He was like, "Yeah, I totally wanna." And you
No,
were like,
he was. It was because Anessa made a joke that Lycoris is so uptight she needs to get laid, and then
Oh,
and
yeah.
Anrael was like, "I'll help."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he talked about his 2 dead wives.
Yeah.
Which is always.
No,
a
he
turn
didn't.
on.
He didn't specifically say wives. He said that he'd been with 3 people that he loved, and he had their rings round her neck. It could have been 3
Exactly.
dudes. You don't know that.
Actually, one of them was a guy.
Mhm.
Lee did say.
But
At any rate,
might have,
add to the
it
collection.
might have been a guy. It doesn't stop it being a wife.
He was a manic bi, a manic bi character.
Yep.
Crazy bi characters. We love them.
But long story short, yeah, they are doing something right now. Who knows what? You guys
I mean,
have all the capacity of spellcasters at your command right now. You could easily check up on them if you needed to. That's all I'm saying. You guys are you guys are literally like fucking junior. You're like champions of gods right now. You are more
Don't
powerful
say that.
than.
We'll turn into goldfish and split ourselves.
Go ahead, it'll be funny. You guys truly are stronger than 60% of the basic members of the rest of the planet that aren't
I don't like that fact when we are
No,
so
I don't
chaotic.
either.
that aren't
Feel like
specifically
I don't deserve it.
that aren't what are you on about? That aren't specifically there to cause chaos over a long period of time. So like your big final bosses, they're obviously going to be stronger than you collectively, probably at the moment. Other than that, small armies and the like, you guys can just be like, yeah, whatever, we don't fucking care. Magic, swords, death. But
Don't
what
rely on me.
We're too busy bickering and
Yeah, trying to decide what to do next.
angst and pseudo wanting to have sex with a couple of the elven characters in the game, but not really wanting to
Yeah.
because feelings.
human intimacy is upsetting.
And the side harems and other stuff.
It's
This is
what I
true
live
story.
for. I'm so
Harems.
invested.
I'm sorry, but if by the end of the game, you fuckers manage to split yourselves up and do such weird shit that the dream I have that I'm not railroading you toward, I just know it will happen. If that last image I have does not come to fruition because you guys are just fucking, I don't even like
Fucking.
someone's
Fucking.
fucking, yeah, if you guys aren't all just fucking by the end of it, and I haven't forgotten about that, by the way. I did say if by the end of this campaign, if most of you haven't fucked each other, I'm going to be very confused. Because let's be honest, lots of sexual chemistry.
Nobody's fucked each other yet.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I
we
know.
are all like,
I
we'll
know.
talk the talk, but we're just like, when it comes to actual.
Yeah.
Apart from Bremen with his like fucking orgy, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
put-
but Brewin like friend zoned everyone.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. So no like actual emotional intimacy. It's just like, oh, I want to bang them,
the bit
but I won't.
the bit I look forward to
Bitch.
is any single one of you or an NPC getting sober Trafalgar in bed.
I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I thought he was asexual.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh.
Because I feel like it'd have to be such a special bond to bypass his paranoia and concern about other people. Not to mention his obviously,
Ugly personality.
hey, his personality's fine, thank you.
I don't know.
You're
I would
dead.
like to say that I wasn't the one that said that. I was good and kept my mouth shut.
Trafalgar, do you have
So-
anything
so
to
you're
say
saying
about
you're
all
thinking
this? These accusations, wild as they are.
There's no accusations.
Just disguise
Ah.
yourself as a gold coin and he'll want you immediately.
Yeah.
I just gave some gold away.
Oh, what a
He's
slut.
growing as a person.
Yeah. What he
He's a
doesn't
giver
tell you,
and
and
a
what he's
taker.
currently whisper typing to Lee, is the fact that he's pickpocketing it back later.
Excuse me, he's already done that bit. Nice try.
I reckon one of the coins has got like a tracking thing in because he's paranoid he's gonna lose everyone again. So we've
Oh,
all
yeah,
got trackers on us.
All my coins are enchanted. So I can track them down and kill whoever stole them.
Do you
Didn't you?
think you can get away that easily?
Didn't you guys know he's actually a 9th level wizard, 1 level rogue? He's been taunting you this entire time. You haven't even paid any attention to it. He's saving all his good
Hey,
spells.
I paid attention to him and he was like, so overwhelming, you're just so annoying. So I stopped.
No.
Before we get too far off the rails, and because I know
Yeah.
dear Rachel would like to leave at some point, that's that conversation between, after the very long tangent off road, between those two. Kitty cat, cat, cat. What do you want to do?
What?
Lycoris, what would you like to do? Dig up the dead body of your long lost and long
I'm gonna
loving
I'm gonna-
child slash son.
Yeah, I'm gonna go rebury him.
hmm
And then I'll come back and say to Lupula, yo,
Let's get on with the show.
Brewin's magic poke stick just disappeared. So we need to get on with it. Where are we going? Has a choice been made?
So he would have summoned that after you guys had your rest. So before I tell you the answer to that, does anyone have anything to do anything they want to do before the night is over? This means use any spells you want to scry on people, to send a message, anything that you have available, use it now before you recover it. Otherwise you'll just waste your next day's spell slots. Is there anything anyone wants to do?
I mean, I want to do something, but I need to know where we're going before I decide whether I'm going to waste it or not.
Given that I didn't
that-
have anyone say anything, other than yourself, of course. The next question, I suppose, then. I will go top down, and we'll do this democracy style. Where does everyone want to go? As in, to make it easier, where's the first place you want to go? Trafalgar.
Esoteric and say Gustodon.
Okay. Licorice.
Janasta.
Anessa.
Didn't she BRB?
Oh, she did BRB, pardon me. Hey Connor, where do you want to go, buddy?
I wonder.
Yeah, Esatari, where would you like to go?
Gustodon.
We'll wait for Chloe just in case it's a tie break. But what did you want to go? What did you want to do? Oh, hello.
I
So
just had to wait for Chloe. I was like, I'm back.
where do you want to go first? Gustodon or Janasta?
Oh,
Can I try and give her a look that says she should vote what I've just voted for?
what did Esatari vote?
Same as Trafalgar.
What did he vote?
Gustodon.
Gustodon.
I'm sorry, I went downstairs for a drink and my headset had been like kept cutting out. I'll be like,
I glare.
Okay.
I see her glare and be like, oh, should I not have voted for that one? Oh, okay.
I'm not going to do what I was going to do then because it's a waste because we're going back there anyway.
Okay. then, as you all voice your opinions, the general consensus of the party, anyway, not counting the NPCs, is for Gustodon. As those are voiced, is everybody okay with that? Going to Gustodon first,
Yeah.
and then maybe Janasta afterward.
So, can we go to Gustodon and then get Lupula to go to wherever Brewin is, and then bring Brewin back after he's rested with Brewin? That would save us some trouble.
Well,
You wanted to
Just
go
use
to
him like a
Janasta
taxi.
You wanted
Yeah.
to go to Janasta anyway.
Yeah, but we know Brewin. We know Brewin. If you, he's not gonna just go willingly. Brewin will do
Okay.
what Brewin will do, and it's not
But Bre-
Lupula's job to chase Brewin around.
not to mention, just putting it out there, that technically speaking, Lupula is a High Chancellor of the Gustodon, nobility. He has shit to do.
Excuse me, can you be a taxi for like 3 days?
Yeah. The only reason he
And-
came here is because this was of importance. Stopping this meant good political stability for himself, and it
No, no,
meant
no, it
stopping
was
a whole
because it's-
army attacking his city.
It was because Esatari asked. Let's be honest.
Yeah, sure. That too. Never
Wait,
doubt
so
the
can he
permanent
send us
charm.
places without? Can he send us places without going himself as well?
He can send you
Yeah.
guys places, yeah. The only problem
Yeah,
is
yeah.
you,
So-
would- you
so
would then
And
we
be
we've
can-
stuck.
seen it.
You would then be
So we
stuck.
can go back to. Yeah, yeah. So
But we can go
to-
back on Haraway's boat because Haraway's offered us the boat.
Yeah.
So if we told Haraway we're going back to Gustodon with Lupula, he's going to teleport us to Janasta. Can you get the boat to just? Can you just send us a message when the boat is in port in Janasta?
I'm sure
And
there's
then
just
there
like
you go.
other boats.
Yeah, but that boat is owned by someone we know, so we don't have to pay for it. That, or we speed run back by getting Anessa to teleport back to the teleportation circle
Yeah.
in the castle.
Well, I remember. Where is it? Where are you, Roderick?
Or scry on Lupula's house. He has. I'm sure. Oh, his house is gone. Damn it.
Because I'm basing it on that once we get to Janasta, we might end up being there for a while, which is why I just want to spend a day checking on like the people we know first.
Seeing what Kia's doing with that fucking scythe.
Oh,
So-
now we're concerned about what Kit's doing. I see.
On a side note, very much unimportant to the rest of you, with the power that Haraway has gained from becoming the owner of this place, he literally went up a level. He will use the spell Raise Dead to revive his Lieutenant Aravesta Pierce. That's all I was going to say. It's not impactful to any of you.
What?
He's
Not the
reviving.
Dragonborn.
No, the Dragon Ball was nothing to do with him.
Sad times. Atari will remember this.
So yeah, he revives his ally and friend. But anyway, sorry, carry on. I just wanted to note that he is obviously doing this necromantic thing in front of you.
You want to flex his powers? I see.
No, he's bringing back one of his lieutenants just because you happen to be there.
It's flexing.
Yes, absolutely. So you guys are being jolted to Gustodon. Final check.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then everybody place yourself very gently in the teleportation circle in the middle, because luckily this first trip is free, because obviously Lupula has a teleportation circle to Gustodon.
It's still there.
Well, I didn't say to his home. Though he did have one there originally, but fucking so much for that.
So if we go back to this teleportation circle, and Nessa then knows that teleportation circle.
She would have to study it, but yeah, easily, yeah.
Study them all.
Do me a favour, actually, Chloe. On your teleportation circle spell, actually, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me look at your sheet on the at the same time. I'm assuming it's. Is it fifth? It's fifth. Where is it? Or is it on your other sheet?
Might be on my spell sheet.
It's on your spell sheet.
Do
Okay.
you want me to put it in chat?
No, that's fine. I was just going to say we can edit it to note what teleportation circles you have access to.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Okay, so this one.
Should I put that on my front page, my character sheet? Because otherwise I'll probably forget.
Give me a second, and then yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You've got fast travel stations.
Yeah.
I do. That's why it's useful to have a wizard.
Oh my god.
If only she had quick save.
Done. So copy, close that. I'm gonna put it there. It's in your personality traits for the minute. Just copy and put that wherever you need it to be. It's on the spell sheet.
Oh yeah, I see it.
I've also put it into the spell itself. So just in case you use it, you have the visual of it. Just put that wherever else you need it to be. You all... Is there anyone that's missing?
Me.
Well, obviously. We'll get to you, don't worry. Eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's
you
right,
lot
that's sort of different adventure.
gather together towards the circle. Lupula analyzes the formula of the teleportation circle. Takes him about a minute or two. He bites the tip of his finger, holds his hand up, allows the blood to drip onto the circle, and the first bit of blood causes a spark of gentle blue energy to emit from the centre outward, turning the gold and runic writing to gentle blue. And then you see these little arcs of lightning that curl around the ground. Even if it moved through you, you would feel nothing from it. There's no pain, there's just a gentle wind almost sensation that brushes past you. And the next couple of drops, he's chanting something that's in Infernal, that is essentially, bring me to the place of my creation, bring me to the place of my joy, take me from this place, bind me there. And yeah, once he finishes that sentence and the last drop of blood splatters on the ground, you note that each drop of blood is denoting a person on the circle, and you all just very quickly are flashed away to obviously an unfamiliar space as you appear in a what looks to be like vast, and I mean like the ceiling is about 70 feet up. You have a large bookshelf that's about the size of a fucking ogre behind you, to your left, to your right, and there's rows and rows of bookshelves that you can kind of make out ahead of you. You can see about 150 feet away is a doorway that is closed, you can't see beyond it. Above you are a series of chandeliers that are lowered down about 30 feet or so. And as you guys appear, and the runic circle beneath you is lit in a, again, very dull and gentle blue, with the little arcs of lightning sparking around the ground as you appear. The lights above you seemingly triggers an effect that causes the lights to light up with a light cantrip. And the entirety of this, you don't know how big, library of his lights up in an instant. And as it lights up, he steps towards the edge of the teleportation circle, turns around, looks at you all, holds out his arms out and goes, "Welcome to my library. You may look, you may read, but please, be careful. I've collected these over the many centuries of my life. It is quite literally my life's work." He kind of curtsies to each of you. And before I say that's the end of the session, what is the first thing you lot of rambunctious monsters do?
I'm gonna go find a pub and sit in it.
Okay.
And
Ava?
stay there until someone comes and gets me.
Sorry, where have we arrived at? His house?
You have arrived in what looks to be a very vast library. A massive library. It's very quiet. It's seemingly well insulated, surprisingly. And there's tons of chandeliers that are seemingly up above, lowered down by about 30 feet or so. The roof itself is 70 feet up.
I wanna look and see what books he's got.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to go look for some books.
Reach out
But
to
maybe-
his bookshelves at the same time and I glare at him.
But maybe we have more important things right now.
No, I wanna read. I just wanna see
Okay.
if he's got any cool arcane books, you know, like that I can learn. I don't know.
As you're thinking about that, you hear from the book you took from Vandrus start to speak in your mind, and it
Oh,
goes, "You're not thinking of taking another book, are you? I'm all you need. I'm all you need."
I roll my eyes at the fucking needy book.
What about you, Esadari?
Just like longingly gaze at the books, but tear her eyes away.
Just like,
As
no,
as Lycoris is leaving. Well, I'll try and make this as quick as possible.
I have to be strong. As you start.
And
Yep.
And yeah, she's just like, it's gonna inquire if Lupola knows where the refugees are now.
Yes. He tells you that, unlike my last attempt, they are currently being held in the upper cities. I made sure that only people I can trust are guarding them. They've had a very horrible luck. They'll be fine. I've set them in one of the arcane observatories. It's a VIP area, shall we call it?
Would it be possible for me to visit them?
I'll have to come with you for that, but absolutely.
Okay, if I have other places to go if now is not convenient, but
Well, I've got about another 2 hours before people might start asking where I am. But it all depends on what your friends are doing. He looks toward Lycoris, who's already at the door. But I'm assuming my schedule's pretty open.
great then. Let's get going. And she's like very like staggeringly walks past, like keeps glancing at the books and like forcing herself on.
As you're walking along, you see that Trafalgar and the Nessa are kind of like wandering the corridors, and just as you're looking around, like you can see the end of the room itself. You can see each of the 4 cardinal directions, each of the walls. But it looks like it's so very expansive. It's like 300 feet long almost. And it's almost like not only are you feeling that motion of like, oh, this is just... You're almost stopping yourself from drooling because there's just so much content. But at the same time, it's so much. Like, this place is impossible. You see as you're looking around, and those two are wandering around, Lupula kind of leans forward a little bit. You see he raises his hand forward and snaps his fingers just as you two reach the doors, and you see this pulsation of magic emanates from him, from his fingertips. And as you two reach the door, he slowly closes it behind him. Now let's see how long they're willing to stick around when all of the books are alive.
Good night.
And you two kind of just wander off together towards where the people from Alden are currently being housed. But we'll end it there for the sake of allowing everybody to go to bed. I don't think I have anything to add, actually. That's basically that.
Nice. I'm gonna go because I got shit to do
Yeah.
tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
Good night.
Night,
Au
guys.
Session.
Thank you,
revoir.
Lee.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.